Welcome, listeners. This is Ivan Franklin Rose, and this is the one on brain fixer-uppers. Now, we all know there are certain things you can do to keep your brain active, especially as you get older, like doing puzzles, crosswords, and keeping your brain active, things like that. But there's also nutrition and other things you can do that are important. Consider a beautiful home, and no one thinks of what to do about certain issues until it's too late. Before you know it, you find carpenter ants or termites have snuck into your home. We don't know why. They came in. Could you have prevented it? Maybe. But no one took precaution because no one thought that would happen to them. Well, your brain is similar in a way in that no one thinks that it's going to happen to them, cognitive decline, unless in your family you have some signs of Alzheimer's, dementia, etc. But everyone thinks they're going to have a fine brain all the way through the rest of their life. But sometimes we need help. Sometimes we need to do things to enhance our brain, to improve our brain, what I call brain fixer-uppers. So let's start with some simple things. Now, many of you may take a multivitamin and feel that's enough. So let's start with a study that was done. Vitamin Retailer magazine actually did a study. It was called the Cosmos Study, and it finds evidence that multivitamins can improve memory and slow cognitive aging in older adults, but it doesn't do it enough that's the only thing you should do. So according to the Alzheimer's Association, by 2060, nearly 1 in 4 Americans will be in an age bracket at elevated risk of cognitive decline in Alzheimer's disease, unless interventions can help preserve cognitive functions before deficits begin. The cocoa supplement and multivitamin outcomes study, the Cosmos study, is a large-scale nationwide randomized trial rigorously testing cocoa extract and multivitamin supplements directed by researchers at Mass General Brigham. 2 previously published studies of cognition in Cosmos suggested a positive effect for a daily multivitamin. Cosmos researchers now report that results of a third-party study of cognition in Cosmos, which focused on participants who underwent in-person assessments. Together with results of a combined analysis from 3 separate studies, the results form the latest report confirm consistent and statistically significant benefits of a daily multivitamin versus placebo for both memory and global cognition. The results were published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. They said cognitive decline is among the top health concerns for most older adults, and a daily supplement of multivitamin has the potential as an appealing, accessible approach to slow cognitive aging. The first author, Chirag Varas, MBBS, MPH, instructor in investigation at the Department of Psychiatry at Massachusetts General Hospital, a founding member of the Massachusetts General Brigham healthcare system, said in the in-clinic study, the researchers administered detailed in-person cognitive assessments among 573 participants in the subset of Cosmos, known as the Cosmos Clinic. Within Cosmos, 2 previous studies had tested multivitamin supplementation on cognition using telephone-based cognitive assessments and online web-based cognitive assessments. In their perspective of analysis of data from the Cosmos Clinic, investigators observed a modest benefit for the multivitamin compared to placebo on global cognition over 2 years. There was statistically significant benefit of multivitamin supplementation for change in episodic memory, but not in executive function attention. The team also conducted a meta-analysis based on 3 separate studies with non-overlapping Cosmos participants ranging 2 to 3 years in treatment duration, which showed strong evidence of benefits of both global cognition and episodic memory. The authors estimate that the daily multivitamin slowed global cognitive aging by the equivalent of 2 years compared to the placebo group. The meta-analysis of 3 separate cognition studies provides a strong and consistent evidence that taking a daily multivitamin containing more than 20 essential micronutrients helps prevent memory loss and slows down cognitive aging, Vias said. Olivia Okereke, MD, SM, senior author of the report and director of geriatric psychiatry at MGH, added, "These findings will garner attention among many older adults who are understandably very interested in ways to preserve brain health, as they provide evidence for the role of daily multivitamin in supporting better cognitive aging." Now, although This was done on multivitamins. It's not enough. There is so much more research on items that will really help further. Some things that are included, just general things, L-threonate magnesium, which bypasses the brain-blood barrier. Fish oil, which contains omega-3 fatty acids, helps protect the brain. CoQ10 or ubiquinol, which I covered in episode 11 before. Flaxseed and other vegetarian sources provide omega-3 fatty acids and other beneficial nutrients. Vitamin B12 helps protect and maintain brain nerves. Ginkgo biloba helps to increase flow to the brain. Rosemary improves memory and alertness. Mint improves memory, they said. Cocoa seed is a powerful antioxidant and helps protect the brain. This is on healthline.com. And sesame seeds are rich in amino acid tyrosine. They are also a source of B6, zinc, and magnesium, which nurture brain health. And then saffron improves brain function as well. You can Google that. And then DHA. Normally, omega-3 fatty acids include DHA and EPA, and the DHA part of that is the part that's been proven for the brain. So that's from Healthline. Now, today I'm going to give you an idea of what we're going to cover first, so you can write down the names of some of the more important things instead of going through the whole hour and going through each part by part. So we're going to cover the choline formulas, which are alpha-GPC and cognizin. These are two choline formulas. We're going to cover cognitiv, which is for the brain. It's from the coffee fruit extract I also mentioned in episode 11. We're going to cover phosphatidylserine, astaxanthin, 4 milligrams. We're going to cover that should be done twice a day. Selenium, 100 mcgs twice a day. NOPEPT, NOOPEPT. We're going to cover that. We're going to cover bacopa, ginkgo biloba, GABA, astaxanthin again, vinpocetine, huperzine A, and ashwagandha. I also recommend boron, and we're going to cover a few other things as well. This is just some of it. Alpha-lipoic acid was the ALA I mentioned before. That's what I was going to get at. Okay, so let's start with some of the benefits of basics that are in multiples. The B complex. B6 increases energy, regulates mood, and proper brain development. It plays an important role in the production of serotonin and dopamine, which are necessary for nerve communication. B12 decreases fatigue, lethargy, and stress. It is an essential nutrient that can prevent mental decline. Studies have shown that memory problems have been improved when treated with B12 supplements, as did mental clarity and focus. B1, thiamine, is used in the biosynthesis of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine and GABA, which we'll cover GABA later. The brain requires a much greater amount of thiamine than in other cells of the body, and deficiencies can lead to detrimental neurological effects. B2, riboflavin, is needed for the function of every cell in the body and brain, and deficiencies may result in subtle neuropsychological impairment. B3, niacin deficiency symptoms include irritability, poor concentration, anxiety, fatigue, restlessness, apathy, and depression. Then we have choline. Choline we're going to cover actually separately. DMAE. DMAE is known to have effective transportation to the brain and can result in a higher level of cholinergic activity that increases fluidity and permeability in brain cells. Studies have found that DMAE improves memory, learning, and concentration, as well as having a positive effect on intelligence. This is the most likely due to the fact that it potentiates the synthesis of acetylcholine, which is acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter used to communicate when consolidating, encoding, and recalling memories. You can see how important this all is. It plays a role in our ability to focus, as well as the plasticity of our brain. Higher levels of acetylcholine can lead to greater clarity of thought, memory, retention, focus, and analytical skills. Then alpha-lipoic acid, which I mentioned a minute ago, it has a strong ability to neutralize the damaging effects of oxidative stress and is the subject of intense study in preventing free radical damage to the neurological system. It is able to pass readily into the brain and reach all parts of the nerve cell. New evidence suggests that lipoic acid can help guard against one of the most dreadful conditions associated with aging, Alzheimer's disease. Researchers have identified a series of mechanisms through which lipoic acid may work in helping prevent or manage Alzheimer's disease. Scientists believe that lipoic acid may increase the production of acetylcholine, an essential nervous system messenger that is deficient in the brains of Alzheimer's disease victims. So you can see the importance of some of this, and you can get these online. Swanson.com runs sales all the time, up to 45% off. You can get it on Amazon. Any of these items can be purchased anywhere. I have a formulator that's trying to take all of these together and put it in one microcapsulated formula, which I'll let you know when that happens. The next is phosphatidylserine, which we talked about a minute ago, is essential to help brain neurons support and maintain memory functions and neuroplasticity. The dynamic capacity to replace damaged neurons and make new ones, neuron-to-neuron communication and neuroplasticity depends on a steady supply of phosphatidylserine and other smart nutrients. Even the biased FDA have granted qualified health claim status to phosphatidylserine, allowing supplement manufacturers to state that consumption of this may reduce the risk of dementia in the elderly, and consumption may also reduce the risk of cognitive dysfunction in the elderly. It has been shown to prevent and restore memory loss and alleviate stress and anxiety. Preliminary research indicates that this may also benefit children with attention, learning, and behavioral problems. So that's an important one. Acetyl L-carnitine, Alcar, in other words, is a compound used in the generation of metabolic energy and is a powerful antioxidant. Studies have shown that it decreases problems with attention and aggression in boys diagnosed with ADHD. It can improve concentration and mental fatigue in those with chronic fatigue syndrome. Improves symptoms of autism spectrum disorder, and improves recovery after exercise, and improves mental and physical fatigue. Now, I've got scientific data as to where this came from, what research was done for all these. So if anybody's interested, you can contact me and I'll be glad to give it. I have all this in writing. And then they have an important one, Bacopa monnieri, which I'm going to cover also later. Bacopa monnieri is an herb that contains numerous psychoactive compounds that has been extensively tested and proven as a memory and concentration enhancer. Results of a recent study showed that Bacopa reduced the time needed to learn a new task by almost half. Participants taking Bacopa mastered the exercise in as little as 6 days compared to 10 days for the control group. Furthermore, it is believed to improve working memory, speed of visual information processing, learning rate, memory consolidation, and anxiety. Additionally, studies show that it improves cognitive function, depression, and anxiety in elderly people. Usually recommended 300 milligrams a day. And again, I have all the information on this. Glutamine. Glutamine is a non-essential amino acid in a human body and one of the few amino acids that can directly cross the blood-brain barrier, important for providing fuel, nitrogen and carbon, to many different cells in the body. It has been shown beneficial for depression, moodiness, irritability, anxiety, insomnia, and enhancing exercise performance. That is sometimes used for this, and is also for treating attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. So these are all very important things to know about. Ginkgo biloba is another one used for memory disorders, including Alzheimer's disease. It is also used for conditions that seem to be due to reduced blood flow in the brain, especially in older people. These conditions include memory loss, headaches, ringing in the ears, vertigo, difficulty concentrating, mood disturbances, and hearing disorders. A Cochrane meta-analysis of 33 trials concluded that ginkgo is safe to use and showed promising results in the improvement of cognition and function. Again, I have all the documentation on this. So these are some of the things that you can look for in any kind of multiples that you're getting, or by itself. All right. Another study. This is from the Mental Health Center of America. They did the 7 best cognitive enhancers for ADHD. They said attention deficit disorder, whether it's hyperactive or not, is one of the most common psychological disorders commonly seen in children. Less prevalent, and yet it's prevalent among adults too. It's strongly linked to the levels of two essential neurotransmitters, norepinephrine and dopamine. These two neurotransmitters help in maintaining focus, alertness, and sustaining thought and motivation. Dopamine synthesis into norepinephrine, norepinephrine. I'm sorry I didn't pronounce it correctly, in the brain, and the latter is crucial because it helps your brain collect what your senses pick up. Attention deficit disorder is characterized by difficulty concentrating, maintaining focus for longer periods of time, difficulty finishing tasks, which this substance helps to balance. Serotonin and acetylcholine are also involved in ADHD, mostly the hyperactivity elements like lack of attention and impulsivity. The unique structure of each person's brain chemistry makes it difficult to find the right treatment. Adderall might work for some, yet prove ineffective for others. But these are we're talking about non-pharmaceutical items, non-drugs that you can take if you need to. Modafinil is a strong nootropic and a wakeful promoting agent widely used to treat ADD and narcolepsy. Most people regard it as the best alternative to Adderall due to its effectiveness and safety. Modafinil boosts cognitive motivation levels and helps in maintaining focus for extended periods of time. Despite it being a potent nootropic, modafinil doesn't make you crash when the effects have worn off. This is because it isn't actually a stimulant. Its stimulating effects are comparable, although encouraged rather than forced, so it's not a stimulant. There are a few reliable places where you can buy it online, and you can consult your doctor first. Paracetam is another one of the 7, they say. Paracetam is a derivative of the neurotransmitter GABA. It's one of the most popular and safest nootropics in the world. It boosts blood flow to the brain and is used to treat various other psychological disorders like depression, schizophrenia, and epilepsy. Paracetam is a powerful cognitive enhancer that boosts concentration, energy, and even increases synaptic plasticity. People with ADHD should use dosage ranging from 3,200 to 6,400 milligrams to get the desired effect. Noopept, that's Noopept, is similar in its effect and mechanism and action to paracetam, though much more potent. A typical Noosept dose is between 10 and 40 milligrams, so much more practical. Noosept improves memory retention and recall, making you process information at a faster rate. It helps you stay focused for longer periods of time and also has neuroprotective properties. On top of that, its side effects are minimal. Noopept is healthy for your brain because it encourages the formulation of new synapses and neurons. Ginkgo biloba is one of the oldest trees in the world, and its leaves are widely used in herbal remedies to treat cardiovascular illnesses, alleviate stress, and depression. It also helps maintain a blood flow to the brain. Ginkgo is especially useful for increasing attention spans in people with ADD and ADHD. Also, it helps those who suffer from anxiety disorder and is often used in combination with ginseng. L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine is an amino acid that is synthesized within the body from phenylalanine. L-tyrosine is important in the production of many of the body's proteins and neurotransmitters, which are linked to ADHD, epinephrine, dopamine, and norepinephrine. The studies from 1980s hypothesized that ADD may be a product of L-tyrosine deficiency. Although that probably isn't the cause, L-tyrosine can boost focus and energy levels by increasing the production and dopamine of norepinephrine and epinephrine. Ginseng is one of the most widely researched and effective tonics in the world. Due to the presence in genosides, ginseng is effective in relieving some ADD-related symptoms by boosting dopamine and norepinephrine levels. All right, that was ginseng. Ginseng has also been found to improve cognitive performance, speed of performing memory tasks, and accuracy of attention-related tasks. Also, it increases overall mental energy and significantly boosts memory when taken with ginkgo biloba. They also, as one of the 7, also speak about Bacopa moneri. It's or Brahmi, as it's called, is a marsh plant that grows in India, used for centuries to improve cognition and memory retention. It's also an adaptogen, meaning that it helps people deal better with stress and feel socially at ease. Whether you're suffering from attention deficit disorder or not, Brahmi can help you focus on the task at hand while making you feel relaxed. All right, so these are some of the top enhancers by the Mental Health Center of America. Let's go on to the next. Some more information on the top criteria. Choline, we're going to talk more about the different types that we can use, but choline is an essential nutrient crucial to producing acetylcholine, which supports memory, learning, concentration, and motor skills. Studies published in the Journal of Nutrition confirm that low choline intake is tied to poorer cognitive performance. On the other hand, supplementing choline into your daily regimen can help improve memory and attention in healthy adults. Also, taking choline may help reduce the changes in brain associated with aging and memory loss and support enhanced cognitive function in elderly adults. They also speak about the phosphatidylserine, which we talked about briefly. It's a phospholipid nutrient found in cerebral cortex, which covers and protects brain cells and helps carry messages between them. The normal aging process causes brain cell membranes to become rigid, impairing brain cell communication, which results in memory recall issues. Studies show that supplementing with this can improve memory function, especially delayed recall in both middle-aged and older adults. It works by helping rejuvenate brain cell membranes and supporting the release of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter responsible for memory. And they speak about Bacopa moneri again, which I covered a minute ago. Huperzine A is an extract of the Huperzia serrata plant, has been shown in studies to improve memory and learning from young students to seniors. Recent research shows that it improves memory and slows cognitive decline by increasing levels of acetylcholine, the compound that functions as a neurotransmitter in the brain. It's also been shown to help prevent neuronal cell death. 20 randomized clinical trials involving 1,823 participants indicated that it has a beneficial effect on memory, cognitive function, and quality of life. I know I'm packing a lot in, but there's a lot to get in, and as I said, this is so important. All right, let's talk about the top benefits of alpha-GPC choline, and then we'll talk about cognizant choline. Alpha-GPC is a choline-containing phospholipid that can be used to augment the body and brain choline pool. It is this role. In this role, it serves as a precursor to both acetylcholine and phosphatidylcholine in biosynthesis. Alpha-GPC and acetylcholine are considered the nootropic forms of choline, which both forms able to increase brain choline levels, such as building blocks for acetylcholine and support choline-dependent neurotransmission. However, of the two, alpha-GPC contains a higher proportion of choline, so a lower dose of alpha-GPC, usually about 300 milligrams, gives greater choline support than a similar dose of acetylcholine. This means that by weight, alpha-GPC is a more efficient choline precursor. Following an oral dose, alpha-GPC metabolizes into choline and to the phospholipid glycerophosphatate. The choline can be used for acetylcholine synthesis and neurotransmission. Acetylcholine is central to brain neurotransmission. It's also used both in the fight or flight, and which we talked about that in a previous episode, fight or flight and rest and relax parts of the autonomous nervous system. And it is a signaling molecule for activating muscles. Because alpha-GPC is a precursor in the biosynthesis of acetylcholine, it plays a supportive role in a variety of cognitive functions, including attention, concentration, mental focus, and memory formation and recall. Alpha-GPC also supports aspects of muscle performance and is involved in maintaining organs and tissues. And because it can readily be metabolized into phosphatidylcholine, it can be used to support the structure and function of cell membranes. It's also found in low amounts in a variety of foods and in breast milk. So it supports cognitive function and exercise performance. From neurohacker.com, they say that alpha-GPC is able to influence both systemic and brain concentrations of choline. It's derived from soy. Neurohacker uses alpha-GPC that is sourced by non-GMO, gluten-free, and vegan if you're using that brand. Alpha-GPC formulating principles and rationale. It is by weight one of the best sources of choline. While alpha-GPC is often treated as if it's dose-dependent, a higher dose is better, and doses of 1,200 milligrams a day have been used in some clinical studies. 300 milligrams per day should be fine. A study of healthy college-age men, while a higher dose of 500 milligrams a day did a better job increasing free choline levels, the lower dose of 250 milligrams a day produced a better peak muscle force response. In general, Neurohacker's experience with alpha-GPC as well as acetylcholine indicates that when used as part of a comprehensive nootropic formula, a more modest serving is often sufficient. It is a useful choline source in liquids because of the taste and solubility. In general, the best time to take alpha-GPC is early in the day. All right, so it supports plasma choline levels, precursor of phosphatidylcholine synthesis, precursor for acetylcholine synthesis, supports brain function, supports cognitive function, supports dopamine signaling, supports serotonin signaling, supports GABA signaling, supports phospholipid synthesis, supports growth hormone secretion from the pituitary gland, counters some age-related brain microstructural changes, supports neuroprotective functions, promotes exercise performance, supports isometric force production, and supports maximum power and velocity in jump movements. All of this is documented. We have all the reports. Now, also from Neurohacker, they talk about Cognizin, which is the other type of acetylcholine. Cognizin is a branded acetylcholine that provides nutritional support for brain energy, attention, focus, and recall. Following ingestion, acetylcholine yields choline and cytidine, the latter being converted into uridine in humans. These compounds can be used to produce what's needed for the structure and function of healthy cell membranes. It can also be used for acetylcholine synthesis. It's central to brain neurotransmissions, plays a supportive role in attention, concentration, mental focus, and memory. Acetylcholine is also used in both the fight or flight and rest and relax parts of the autonomous nervous system, and it is a signaling molecule for activating muscles. Cognizin is a branded acetylcholine form that provides nutritional support for brain energy, attention, focus, and recall. It's patented and clinically studied as a form of acetylcholine, a substance vital to brain health and energy. It's been used in a number of human studies. It provides nutritional support for brain, energy, attention, focus, and recall, as I said before. It's non-GMO, vegan, kosher, and GRAS. Cognizin is a registered trademark of Kiowa Hakko Bio Company. Its formulating principles and rationale. Cognizin choline is typically consumed in amounts between 250 and 500 milligrams a day when used alone as a nootropic in healthy adults. Neurohacker believes that evidence suggests that a threshold response for acetylcholine when given to healthy people means the majority of functioning benefits occur at lower ends of the range, with a doubling of the serving from 250 to 500 milligram, producing only modest additional functional gains. The amount included in the formation may be below the amounts used in the study. When it has been given alone, experience with acetylcholine is that when used with other ingredients, it influences choline levels and metabolism. A more modest serving can be sufficient. So while it's been given alone, it can be used with other things. And let's talk about the key mechanisms. The acetylcholine is part of the Kennedy or CDP choline pathway, which has a central role in choline homeostasis. Supports plasma level of choline, supports plasma level of uridine, precursor for, there's so many things over here it does. You can Google this. It supports memory and learning, working memory, attention, processing speed, executive function, cognitive health, brain energetics and ATP, synthesis, acetylcholine synthesis and release, brain phospholipid synthesis, brain mitochondrial phospholipid and protein production, So many things. Frontal lobe bioenergetics, brain bioelectrical activity, cerebral blood flow, brain plasticity, and neuroprotective functions, and neuronal cell membrane stabilization. It supports brain glutathione levels and SIRT1 levels. So many things that these choline products do that are very important. Let's talk about Bakaba in depth. Bakaba has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for almost 3,000 years. One of the main traditional uses has been a neural tonic to support intelligence, cognitive performance, nervous system rejuvenation, and brain function. These traditional uses have made it a favorite nootropic herb. Scientific studies on Bimanori have focused primarily on cognitive function and mood. It has also shown adaptogenic properties supporting the brain and nervous system during stress. Contains saponins and bacosides. These compounds most notably are believed to underlie the plant's nootropic reputation, has a strong antioxidant property, and may contribute to neuroprotective functions in the brain. The top benefits: it supports brain function, cognitive performance, a calm mood, healthy stress responses, supports antioxidant defenses. And then let's look at formulating principles and rationale. Clinical studies using standardized Bacopa minori extracts typically use between 250 to 640 milligrams of these concentrated extracts. These amounts have been equivalent to 3,000 to 9,000 milligrams of the dried herb. We consider Bakaba to be in the adaptive herb category, following hormetic dosing principles, with a high likelihood of having hormetic range, a dosing range below and above which results could be poor. We have selected a serving that is consistent with the studied amount in the human clinical studies for supportive cognitive function and moves. So about 300 milligrams is recommended here. So it supports learning and memory, attention, working memory, executive function, alertness, cognitive health, acetylcholine signaling, acetylcholine serase activity, supports dopamine signaling, serotonin signaling, GABA signaling, dendritic growth and branching, neuroprotective functions, healthy brain cytokine signaling, supports neuronal antioxidant defenses and counters oxidative stress, cerebral blood flow, mood and stress response, calm mood, stress responses and stress hormone levels, changes in dopamine and serotonin levels. All of this is part of what this can do. All right. Now let's talk about coffee fruit extract. I covered this in episode 11 as well. That's called CogniTQ. It's a patented item. CogniTQ is a patented coffee fruit extract that has been shown to improve cognitive performance, increase brain connectivity, and boost BDNF or brain-derived neurotropic factor. It's key neuroprotein that helps with the development, maintenance, connection, and protection of brain neurons. Low levels of BDNF have been associated with a variety of brain-related health concerns. Now, CogniQ may also have other wellness benefits, including anti-inflammatory effects, positive impact on energy levels, positive impact on athletic performance, and supports focus, attention, and working memory. Multiple clinical studies demonstrate that CogniTQ improves measures of cognitive performance in human participants within hours and over time as well with daily use. It's a natural, stimulant-free solution. Works with body's natural pathways to increase BDNF levels. It's effective as a daily dosage of as little as 100 milligrams a day. Formerly known as Neurofactor, it is a patented coffee fruit extract that has been clinically shown to boost BDNF, increase brain connectivity, improves daily cognitive performance. It combines the best of nature and science to help our everyday brain be extraordinary. It's also that they were awarded Ingredient of the Year in the Cognitive Function category for 2023 Natural Ingredients USA Awards and the 2023 Nutrition Industry Executive New Ingredient Awards winner in the Condition-Specific category. It has better brain connectivity performance. In an acute randomized double-blind crossover study, the coffee fruit extract affected neuropsychological changes within human participants while performing tasks. Even a 100 milligram daily dose was shown to affect regions of the brain involving attention, focus, and working memory. Multiple clinical studies demonstrate that it improves measures of cognitive performance in human participants within hours over daily and over time with daily use. In a 28-day study, a daily 100 milligram dose of it showed a significant improvement in the time that participants spent to complete specific cognitive tasks versus the placebo group. It boosts a key neuroprotein, BDNF. It increases brain connectivity, improves cognitive performance fast and over time. It's effective at low dosages, as I mentioned. Many public human clinical studies. It's a natural stimulant-free item. It's derived from sustainably sourced coffee fruit. And so it's been clinically studied to work with the body's own natural pathways to increase these levels of BDNF. BDNF plays a vital role in the development, maintenance, connection, and protection of brain neurons. Low BDNF has been associated with a variety of brain-related concerns. Okay, so that is CogniQ. Now I'm going to talk about astaxanthin. It's the most potent antioxidant known to man, about 1,200 times more potent than vitamin C. Astaxanthin can be Googled. There's so many tests on this. This is from WebMD, medically reviewed by Mohammed Juber, MD, November 29th, 22. That's Juber, Juber. And he says astaxanthin is a natural red pigmented carotenoid, or plant color, found in some types of microalgae and yeast. It's mainly found in Haematococcus pluvarius, a type of algae, and Xanthosomyces is hard to pronounce, Dendrohouse, a type of yeast. So it's a type of yeast also that it's found in. It shares some chemical similarities with carotenes, which are also plant colors like lycopene and beta-carotene. However, it is more closely related to oxygenated Xanthophysis and a oxygen-rich plant color. Like lutein and zeaxanthin, which are known for improving eye health. So this works on eyes and brain. It's amazing. Algae and yeast produce an accumulated astaxanthin naturally. It serves as a food source for marine species like crawfish, lobster, krill, salmon, trout, shrimp, and crab that transfers this pigment up the food chain. Crustaceans accumulate astaxanthin in their shells and flesh, while salmon and trout build up this pigment in their flesh. Consuming seafood rich in astaxanthin can provide you with certain health benefits. It's a fast soluble pigment with powerful antioxidant properties that plays a role in protecting your cells from free radicals and oxidative stress. Carotenoids are known for their ability to neutralize reactive oxygen on the inner and outer layers of all cell membranes. In addition, astaxanthin may provide health benefits such as immune system support, can influence your immune system, helping to activate white blood cells, T cells, and natural killer NK cells. While white T cells attack foreign cells based on antigen markers, and NK cells don't require activation and work at a faster speed to top invasions that can weaken your health. It reduces inflammation, along with boosting your immune system. In particular, this pigment acts on reactive oxygen species to reduce proteins that can cause inflammatory diseases like celiac disease, rheumatoid arthritis, heart disease, and diabetes. It's extensive research on this, and also offers protection from UV skin damage. That's another benefit. It accumulates in the epidermis and dermis layers of your skin, helping to block UV penetration and reducing existing damage. Carotenoids have had a positive effect on the brain by reducing the risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Astaxanthin is a smaller molecule, which means it can cross the blood-brain barrier and add protection for your brain as well as your body's organs. This carotenoid may help to prevent Alzheimer's disease and other cognitive disorders or slow their onset rate. It also lowers LDL, raises HDL and cholesterol, and lowers high blood pressure. This is an amazing ingredient. Please check it out. Okay, we don't have a lot of time left, so I'm going to go through this as fast as I can. Guayusa, Guayusa, and lion's mane have tremendous research behind it. Guayusa is a super leaf thanks to exceptional antioxidant properties and unique caffeine content. A product called Ama-T Max, it's a registered trademark, is a patented Guayusa extract, and this can act uplifting energy and boosting your brain in terms of focus, and it's generally regarded as safe. Let's see what else. It gives you a feel-good energy that you can notice, but also affects your moods. Lion's mane, which has a rich history in Eastern medicine, it's tremendous research on this as well. So it plays a role in cell growth, neuroprotective properties, central nervous system, especially where memory, attention, and spatial navigation take place. Lion's mane, ingredient extracted from the edible fruiting body of the mushroom, contains a diverse degree of bioactive compounds, including glucan, polysaccharides, proteins, herancerinodes, and arenacinines. This study marks an important milestone for lion's mane. This article says, while it's most known for its chronic benefits for over 30 to 60 days, this research is the first to study the acute single-dose cognitive benefits of lion's mane in healthy adults in as little as 1 to 2 hours post-ingestion. They did a double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled crossover study, including 40 healthy adults to evaluate attention, working memory, mental processing speed, and mood. The study examined a single dose of 650 milligrams of Gyasa extract versus 1 gram of lion's mane versus the placebo. Testing occurred in 3 intervals: baseline, pre-ingestion, 60 minutes, and 120 minutes post-ingestion. After the test, the perception was that mood, mental clarity, concentration, productivity, and reduction of stress was all found in both of these, but in the lion's mane, they found it earlier. The benefit had been achieved an hour earlier with that than with the Gyasa. But again, these are interesting items, and you can find lion's mane almost anywhere as a powder or as a pill. I want to cover GABA and selenium. Selenium is so important. Multiple biological functions of selenium manifest themselves versus 25 selenoproteins that it has at its active center. It's vital for the brain and seems to participate in the pathology of disorders such as Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease. That you have to take 200 micrograms a day. But when you're deficient in it, all these things can be affected. It affects performance, coordination, memory, cognition. The benefit in brain signaling that selenium affords is absolutely essential. And the article, this is an article that I'm reading from that talks about using selenium to improve GABA retention in the body, which I'm going to talk about GABA in a second. The role of selenium and selenium proteins and neurotransmission might not only be limited to their antioxidant property, but also to inflammation influencing protein phosphorylation and ion chemicals, alteration of calcium homeostasis and brain cholesterol metabolism. Moreover, direct signaling function was proposed for the selenoproteins through interaction and postsynaptic apolipoprotein E receptors. I know these are hard to pronounce, but this is all online. The fact is 200 micrograms of selenium is so important for neuronal signaling. And GABA. GABA is a chemical messenger in your brain. It slows down your brain by blocking specific signals in your central nervous system and your brain and your spinal cord. It's known for producing a calming effect. It also plays a major role in controlling nerve cell hyperactivity associated with anxiety, stress, and fear. Scientists also call GABA a non-protein amino acid neurotransmitter. So how does it work? It's the most common inhibitory neurotransmitter in your central nervous system. It prevents or blocks chemical messages that decrease the stimulation of nerve cells in your brain. So neurotransmitters all generally work in the same way. There are chemical messengers that carry messages from one nerve cell in your brain to the next. Between each nerve cell is a tiny amount of fluid-filled space called a synapse. Neurotransmitters must carry their message across the synapse and then land on and bind to specific receptors in the next nerve cells. So there are 2 types of GABA receptors on nerve cells, GABA A and GABA B, although they work in different ways. When GABA binds to these receptors, the result is they decrease the responsiveness of a nerve cell. This means that it's an inhibitory neurotransmitter, and GABA lessens the ability of a nerve cell to receive, create, or send chemical messages to other nerve cells, which is essential. So what's the health benefits? It reduces stress, reduces anxiety, improves sleep, and has a relationship also to glutamate. GABA and glutamate act like an on-off switch. They work in opposite ways. GABA is the main inhibitory neurotransmitter of the brain, stopping the chemical messages from passing from nerve cell to nerve cell. Glutamate, on the other hand, is the main excitatory neurotransmitter in your brain, permitting the chemical messages to be carried from nerve cell to nerve cell. To have a properly functioning brain, a delicate balance must be maintained between the inhibitory effects of GABA and the excitatory effects of glutamate. GABA also works together with another neurotransmitter, serotonin. In fact, many neurotransmitters work together and against each other and must maintain a certain relationship to achieve a properly functioning body and brain. GABA is actually made from glutamate following a reaction with the enzyme glutamic acid decarboxylase, DECARBOXYLASE, decarboxylase. Point is, GABA is very necessary to balance it. So what medical conditions are associated with changes in levels of GABA? Certain neurological and mental health conditions are thought to be related to times when GABA messaging activity, signaling, isn't in balance and working as it should be. Decreased GABA activity may contribute to anxiety and mood disorders, schizophrenia, autism spectrum disorder, depression, epilepsy, seizures. Other medical conditions associated also may include a pyridoxine deficiency. This is a rare disease in which a vitamin that's needed to make GABA isn't available and usually causes frequent seizures during infancy. The seizures aren't successfully treated with anticonvulsant medications, but do respond to vitamin supplementation. Huntington's disease is also a possible effect of low GABA. Hypersomnia, which is excessive daytime sleepiness or excessive time sleeping at night. And increasing GABA may also provide lowering high blood pressure, treating insomnia, and diabetes. So this is GABA. We only have a few minutes to mention the others by name. I don't have the time to go into all the benefits. So look up taurine. The benefits of taurine are many. Magnesium, there's an article, if you Google magnesium energy in the brain, you'll come up with the article on that. 5-HTP is another ingredient. And vinpocetine, VINPOCETINE. Magnesium is an amazing item. People take it for granted. They don't take enough magnesium. We talked about magnesium threonate, which bypasses the blood-brain barrier. But magnesium plays a lot of significant roles in the brain. The brain uses a disproportionate amount of energy. A study by M.E. Rushley, published in Trends in Cognitive Sciences, demonstrated that in the average human adult, the brain represents only about 2% of the body weight. However, the brain consumes a whopping 20% of the overall energy consumed by the body. ATP is the energy currency of the body, but for it to be biologically active, ATP must be bound to a magnesium ion, generally to one of the phosphate groups. Recent studies have shown that if magnesium cannot get into the mitochondria, the powerhouse of cells, energy production is impaired and does not function optimally. In the brain, this might mean that energy production is not optimally and subsequently may have an impact on cognition. Other researchers in a review article documented that magnesium enhances the activity of 3 important enzymes involved in energy production. Several of these enzymes are stimulated directly by magnesium isocitrate complex and by free magnesium ions, ensuring that the brain has the magnesium, calories, and other nutrients required for ATP production and conversion will help to optimize cognitive and the biological processes that rely upon their energy. Unfortunately, according to research published in Advances in Nutrition, only about 50% of the United States population consumes the daily requirement of magnesium from their diets. This research also states that the 2015 Dietary Guidelines Advisory characterizing magnesium as a shortfall of nutrient of public health concern, that this dietary inadequacy is not limited to the United States. A study published in 72% of Spanish population did not meet the requirements for the magnesium in their diets. You need at least 300 to 400 milligrams a day for females and 400 to 500 milligrams a day for males. If insufficient amount of magnesium are found in the diet, a dietary supplement containing magnesium may be warranted to help support the brain. Magnesium, there were 10 different types of magnesium. Magnesium bisoglycinate, chelate is highly bioavailable. Oxide is used when you have extreme constipation, so I wouldn't get oxide. This bioglycinate and citrate is okay. There are many studies that demonstrate the bioavailability of that first one through various stages in the body. The highest bioavailable source of supplementary magnesium can help provide an adequate nutrition to support the brain. Magnesium and neuron activity. Let's finish up with this. Recent studies on magnesium suggest that there might be additional roles from magnesium in the brain that are not necessarily associated with energy production. In 2017, an online production called Nurturing the Brain published a report about the functions of magnesium in the brain. According to the review, it's the regulator of neurotransmitter signaling in the brain and is the key to main neurotransmitters like glutamate and GABA. Although its regulation of the activity of calcium channels, magnesium contributes to the maintenance and adequate calcium in brain cells, the maintenance of adequate calcium in brain cells. It helps deliver it to the brain. Through these roles, magnesium is important to neuronal process. The involvement in mechanics of synaptic transmission and neural plasticity results in its impact on learning and memory. Increased levels of magnesium in the brain have been shown to promote multiple mechanisms of synaptic plasticity that can enhance different forms of learning and memory. Synaptic plasticity is the process that strengthens synaptic transmission. Strengthening synaptic plasticity can help delay an age-related cognitive decline. It has been seen that increasing brain magnesium levels may lead to increased and rapid production of neurostem cells. This would indicate that brain magnesium may promote neurogenesis, the generation of new neurons in adulthood. Neurogenesis is the key process in the brain's overall adaptability and mood regulation and cognitive flexibility. Cognitive flexibility is the mental ability to switch between thinking about two different concepts and thinking about multiple concepts simultaneously. Improved cognitive flexibility allows one to learn more quickly, solve problems more creatively, and adapt and respond to new situations more effectively. It also is helpful in enhancing the beneficial effects of exercise on the brain. Magnesium helps in the control of oxidative stress and inflammatory processes. They help maintain proper brain flow. To support adequate brain health, a magnesium supplement needs to be highly bioavailable to deliver sufficient magnesium through the bloodstream. It also needs to be well tolerated. And they say the biglycinate chelate is one of those. But magnesium plays a tremendous role in preventing brain decline and injury. Magnesium levels in those with Alzheimer's disease were significantly lower in cerebrospinal fluid and in hair, even though there was no difference in serum magnesium levels. Another study found that based on National Health Research Institute database, that those that have used magnesium oxide, that's the one that helps you in the bathroom, were less likely to develop dementia. I guess because you release what's in your body. They further adjusted their data to compensate for various factors, including age, gender, geography, economic variation, and they still found that the relationship to magnesium held true. So again, with all these studies, I don't have time to go over all of them. With all these studies, please get enough magnesium. Magnesium threonate for the brain is separate from elemental magnesium. If you're using that, you still need your milligrams of magnesium for the brain. So remember to look up the 5-HTTP, which is a chemical the body makes from tryptophan, an essential amino acid you get from food. After it's converted to 5-HTP, the chemical is changed into another chemical called serotonin, a neurotransmitter that relays signals between brain cells. Dietary supplements help raise serotonin levels in the brain. Since serotonin helps regulate mood and behavior, 5-HTTP may have a positive effect on sleep, mood, anxiety, appetite, and pain sensation. It also affects depression and many other things, insomnia, but I don't have time to go into all that right now. Taurine has tremendous ability. Taurine is even used for periodontal disease, but and a lot of seafood and shellfish have taurine, but it supports a number of the body's function, including nervous system function, cardiovascular health, insulin sensitivity. It's found in energy drinks and shown to enhance various aspects of physical performance. Taurine is well known for its link to healthy aging. Multiple studies have shown that taurine is beneficial to help slow the aging process. One study in 23 by Columbia University found that taurine is a driver of aging, and the taurine supplements may help to improve health and increase lifespan. And in fact, the researchers found that taurine supplements can slow down the aging process in worms, mice, and monkeys. With the mice in particular, which were 14 months old at the start of the experiment, equivalent to the age of a 45-year-old human, the researchers found the mice that received taurine supplements had each day lived 10 to 12% longer than mice that didn't. For the last 25 years, scientists have been trying to find factors not only let us live longer, but also increase health span and help us remain healthier in old age. This is one of them. Taurine has tremendous benefits. I take 1,000 milligrams a day. You can get for $19 on Amazon, you can get 400 days worth of 1,000 milligrams a day. It's so inexpensive. Things to look into. And lastly, vinpocetine, the one I told you about before, vinpocetine, may be useful against some cerebrovascular disorders, but additional studies have showed that it may increase blood flow to the brain. It's been studied as a treatment for Alzheimer's disorders and the nervous disorders of circulatory systems. More studies are needed, of course. It's from the periwinkle plant. You can go into that item on its own. I have a formulator that is trying to put most of these together in one box. It would be 2 daytime pills and one at the nighttime. Some pills help you sleep at night and actually work on the brain at night. That's why some things like GABA and some of these other things need to be taken at night. They help you sleep and they help the brain better at night. If you contact me, I'll give you more information. We're trying to put it together for less expensive than any of the ones on the market. All the ones I've researched in the market have some of the things, but not all of them. One of them has almost everything. Not everything, but you have to take 7 pills a day. 7 pills a day of this item. Not good. We're trying to compress it. We're trying to put it into so you can take 2 a day, 1 at night, and have everything together. I hope this has helped you understand that there are many things you can do for the brain, many things that you can research and take. A lot of these are pennies on the dollar. If you go to Swanson.com, you go to Amazon.com, look it up online, look and compare prices, you can find these ingredients in the store, and you can save your brain, and you can save your health, and you can live a long time, healthy, active, and with your loved ones. In full capacity. Please break all these down, write them down, and see what you can do to save your brain. This has been Brain Fix-Ups, and until next time, goodbye.